Welcome to Us Watching Us. This is a series of videos where we watch Us from 2010 at this point, but it started in 2009 on a trip around the world that we took, and we made a bunch of videos about it, and we've never watched the videos, so we're going back and watching them now. Seems weird to say we've never watched the videos. We kind of watched them a little bit when we edited them back in the day, but we haven't watched them since then.
I don't know why he's saying we.
You edited some. We found out that you edited some of the videos. I edited
like 2 of them, and they were the ones that we were like, that shouldn't have happened. And then we found out they were mine, so it kind of made sense.
And today we are going to be picking up in the country of Jordan after a stop in 3 weeks, I think we did, in Egypt. And I will break a map out, and we will have a look all together. We were looking at onigiri before we started this part of the stream. So I can just click the X and we'll back all the way out here.
Someday somebody's going to tell me about that restaurant and I'm going to be like, dude, I know all about that restaurant. I've had every flavor. And they're going to be like, what? And
what do you mean like, someday? Yeah. That was today. You just did that.
It's a great day.
So anyways, I'll catch us up probably in an intense manner, maybe on the next Us Watching Us or whatever.
We did great last week. It was like two stops when we were already in Egypt.
Yeah, so we're from America, and then we went to Asia, and we spent like a year there. Anyways, then we went to the Middle East. And the last 3 weeks, we had been spending our time in Egypt and rewatching all of that. And the 3 weeks being we were in Egypt for 3 weeks, but I also think we did watch it over the course of 3 weeks. And last time we left off, and we were down here in Dahab briefly, and we will be going up, and from somewhere in this area, I don't remember where, we take a boat to Aqaba, and that is in the country of Jordan, which is this thing right here, this guy, and it's
a weird shape.
It is an odd shape, and it borders Israel, Syria, and Saudi Arabia, and Iraq.
Man.
So
good neighbors.
We will be, it's an interesting neighborhood. So anyway, so we're going to be watching videos tonight from this little port city down here, and then we will also be going to the what is it called? I don't remember what it is right now. We're the Indiana Jones building. It's Petra. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. So we'll be watching those 2 videos tonight, and then looking at some pictures, and then we will be, I don't know, probably calling it a night, and then picking up with the rest of Jordan next week, I think. Let me see, where are the files? Right where the NADs would be? What's going on? I missed something in chat. Okay, so let me see if I can click this and click that, then you guys should get a bonk.
I can't see anything.
You can't see?
No, I just see a map.
Well, the video's not up yet.
Okay.
Did you get a bonk?
Yeah.
Did you guys get a bonk? Bonk. All right. So this will be probably us entering Jordan. And just a reminder, when we were in Egypt, it was difficult there because people were kind of aggressive towards tourists and stuff. And we kind of had a lot of interactions with people that were not great. And this was another one of those times, and I mentioned this last week, where we went from China to Korea. We were like, whoa, it's amazing again. It was difficult. And in a way, when we went from India to Dubai in a different type of avenue, that was kind of like, oh, it's amazing again. We had a hard time. This was another one of those times. Not as extreme, I think, but we went from Egypt to Jordan, and everybody changed. Like, it's completely different culturally, and people were so much easier to be around and nice to us and helpful. And I think that hits right from the beginning.
After 2 weeks in Egypt, we took a ferry ride from the Sinai Peninsula to Aqaba in Jordan.
So this is our massively overpriced ferry. This was $70 a ticket for a 1-hour journey.
What?
To Jordan. $70 for an hour?
Man, sometimes we're like griping about $15 for the two of us to go into something cool.
Oh my God. I can't believe we paid that. I can't believe we didn't just go, we're not going to Jordan. We probably had to at this point. But the good news is it's called the Princess. Okay, so at 10 a.m. we got up this morning and we headed out of this little town in Egypt for an hour and a half ride in a little van to get to a port city where we could then take a ferry, and we take the ferry across the Red Sea and then we arrive in Jordan. And the ferry is supposed to take an hour and the ride in the van is supposed to take an hour and a half. We're now in Jordan and it is, what time is it? It's almost 8 p.m. So an hour and a half from 10 is, 11:30 plus an hour is not 8 p.m. So it took a little longer than advertised, but we're here now.
Maybe we misunderstood.
Kilometers outside of that. I remember the boat left super late.
Oh.
I think that's what happened. I think the boat left hours late. I remember just sitting around this really dirty boat pier in Egypt, just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
I don't remember that at all.
Actual city where we need to get to sleep, but we don't have any money at all because there's no ATMs, and the only place to exchange money, which we don't have any of anyways to exchange, we have very little money, is on the other side of immigration, so we can't go back in there to exchange any cash. Yeah, okay. I can't remember what was going on here. Give me a second here. So what ended up happening is when we would enter a new country, we would just hit an ATM and then just pull cash out of an ATM. And we did this 20 times. It just always worked out. Sometimes it was a little sketchy. You'd be like, I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Waiting for the sound.
Remember, going into Laos and stuff and being like, what if the card doesn't work or whatever? What if there's a problem? But it always worked out. So when we went from Egypt into Jordan, what we did is we spent all of our Egyptian money before we got on the boat. And so we had nothing. And I remember we had maybe a few dollars of American money, not much. And we were like, whatever, it'll just work out. There'll be an ATM. And then we got to the boat port. And like I was saying, there was no ATM. And to exchange the money, because you go from Egypt into the new country, you have to go through, border control or whatever.
You might be saying this.
Yeah, but the deal was that we usually would arrive into a city, but this was a port way away from a city, so you couldn't just walk to another ATM. We just didn't know all of this stuff. We didn't have this understanding of what was actually how this was all set up. Oh, what's up? Thank you for the raid.
Welcome to Jordan.
Actually, we're watching videos that we filmed in 2010 tonight, Raiders. Usually we do IRL stuff, but on Tuesday nights we watch these old videos.
Yeah, so we're Katie and Eric. We make YouTube videos. Eric streams a good bit. Sometimes I'm there. And then we're watching videos that we shot in, did you already say 2010?
2010, yep.
And they're in Jordan. We had a lot of fun there. So you're along for the ride with us in Jordan.
Jordan, by the way, is in the Middle East by Israel, if anybody is not familiar with the region.
It's by the Red Sea,
By the Red Sea and Egypt and stuff. Okay. So we don't really know what direction the city is. We know it's north, but we think you have to go south to get out of this complex that they're in, for the port. So we don't really have any idea how to get there. So right now we're just going to kind of watch cars for a minute and determine maybe that'll help, whatever direction the cars go.
Let's bring these people up to speed so just to bring you up to speed, we've gone from Egypt to Jordan. We are set at a port at 8 p.m. We had expected to arrive around noon, but the boat was so late. It's 8 p.m. We have no money. We have no ride. We are kilometers upon kilometers away from the hotel that we are planning to go to. We don't have a booking, I don't think. I think we're gonna go to a hotel. And we're trying to figure out how we get from the port that is very far away from the hotel with absolutely no money in a country we've never been in before.
I don't know, and a taxi driver's about to come up here and bug us a whole bunch about giving us a ride, but I don't have any money, so I don't know.
Here, I can try and get it with our change.
Katie's gonna try to use our change. All right, let's see what happens. So we got change from somebody who was on the boat that we met. Somehow,
we told them we didn't have any money, and he just
he gave us his. He just gave. He was like, "I'm leaving Jordan. I don't need this. Here's my change." So we had very small amount of money.
That person I must have told them, I'll take that.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, here, because we were just in Egypt, we're like, oh God, this taxi driver is going to like harass us or whatever. Because we've got a little bit of leftover. That's all, that's Jordanian. And then there's some bills. That's Susan. Thank you for the follow. I don't know. City Center. I don't know. I'm shutting this off. Okay, so now we have just gotten in a cab and we don't have any money and he knows it and I'm not really Uh-oh, that's not good. Do we have a corrupted file?
So I basically just went up to him. I flashed him like how much money we had. I told him where we wanted to go. And he, I'm assuming, just said, don't worry about it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get in the car, you'll be fine. But I do remember being in this car ride and being a little sus. Just because we hadn't made all the connections that make a legal transaction. We just made the connection that Guy said he'll take us somewhere. And whether that's to be slaughtered or to find your hotel of choice could go either way.
This is in Jordan, this country here. So we're actually down here near this port in Aqaba. So in the Middle East.
Katie didn't flash him. I'm more of a mooner, if anything. And that's not going to get us anywhere, I don't think, other than people being upset.
The taxi driver took us like maybe 10 minutes away. So it was quite a ways. And we paid him like, he was like, I need... This has all been a little bit confusing because but basically we were going to just walk. But a 10-minute drive at nighttime in a country you've never been in, walking is kind of far.
And I remember our thoughts about that walk was it would be 2 hours or more.
Yeah. All right, take it easy, man. Thank you for the raid.
Bye.
Working in U.S. money at this point. He said, he asked for the equivalent of about $10. We were like, he's kind of trying to jip us. And we showed him, we had some change somebody had given us on the bus for Jordanian money. And we were like, dude, and it equated to 30 cents or something. So he was just like, okay, whatever. And he just gave us a ride completely, from what it seems, out of the kindness of his heart. I'm not sure if maybe he knows the hotel and the hotel is going to give him a kickback for bringing him some people or something. I don't know. He walked in there and talked to him, but I don't know what transpired. He left before any money was handed over to him, so maybe he'll come back later. I'm not sure. But, needless to say, it was essentially free to get here. And everybody has been super, super nice. And coming out of Egypt, you're a little bit on guard. You're a little bit everybody's trying to rob me. So when people are actually being nice, then you're kind of suspicious of them. So it takes a couple days to get that out of my mind. Something that's neat though, he took us, the guy that we're staying at this hotel here. And that's the hotel. Yeah, and that's kind of my takeaway. Somebody said some people are just nice. Yeah, I think the guy was just being nice.
I think he saw two people
that needed help, and he
on
helped.
the side of the road with a less than handful of money.
Yeah.
And he knew where they needed to go, and I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I think he just helped us. So again, but in coming out of, that's the thing. That's what sucks so much about when you're in countries where people are aggressive towards tourism, that you end up having this I can't trust anybody thing. And we had to really just let our guard down. That guy could have just driven us anywhere and robbed us. We don't know. We don't have any idea. You know what I mean? He could have just... So, you just have to be but then when you go to a new country, you got to let that reset. And it's a little dangerous to do that because you don't know, are you in another Egypt or are you someplace where the people are going to be human to you? So it was just it's just kind of a leap of faith a little bit until you get a vibe. And he took us up on the roof and he showed us that this way you can see Israel. We're standing in Jordan. Right over there you can see Egypt, on the roof, of course. And then back over here is Saudi Arabia, 10 kilometers. So you're really at that little point in the Middle East where there is a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's kind of an interesting place to be. And the city so far seems pretty nice. Things seem pretty modern. And
this lighting just makes me feel like a milkshake's gonna happen. I don't know why, but this kind of lighting makes me feel like a milkshake.
I'm thinking about all those fruit drinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Something along those lines.
Longer than we had anticipated.
So right now we have to go find an ATM, and then we can go find food, and then we can pay our hotel. And then we'll have it made.
Oh yeah, we'll be watching some Petra soon because we will go there in these videos. So we'll be watching that in probably next 20 minutes or so.
So yeah, we've been here for 10 minutes, and it's very evident that Jordan is a modern, regular, everyday country. Like, it kind of just looks a little European, to be honest with you. So that's good to know, because Egypt was not. And I'm excited to be in a first world nation. So it's Friday, and Friday here in this part of the world means it's the weekend. So everybody is down here at this beach, just kind of having a good old time. I hope that kid doing a flip is on there. That was awesome. And it's really pretty here. The water is a really nice blue color, and the mountain range in the background is really nice. And it's a giant Jordanian flag right there, and the mountain range goes all the way around behind us.
I think that might be, at the time, that was like the biggest flag in the world after the one that we saw in North Korea.
Pyongyang.
Yep. It was on the across the border. You could see it from South Korea. It wasn't in Pyongyang.
For some reason, my brain told me that the little city is called that, but it's not. Yeah.
As well.
Does that one also start with a P?
We're kind of at an interesting point geographically, where that's Israel, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. And you can see there's people over here. They're actually smoking the hookah on the beach. So that is something that is done apparently. And I mean, they do it with everything leisurely, so I guess I'm not really all that surprised. But I mean, other than that, it looks pretty much just like a normal beach where families are in there swimming, aside from the fact that there are no women lounging around in their bikinis, that is for sure. It really must seem like that I'm actually hunting out huge flagpoles.
It's huge.
This is the third giant flag I have seen on this trip. And this is the Jordanian flag in Aqaba, and it is the second tallest flag in the world freestanding. Of course, that would be after the one in Abu Dhabi, which is the largest, and then the largest flagpole in the world is North Korea's, but they use wires to hold it up. So this is pretty cool. I actually got right underneath of it. I haven't been right underneath the other two, so this is it's really big.
You're gonna try and get under the North Korean one?
No, I'll skip that one.
Remains of a mosque from like 1,500 years ago, and it kind of sits in an area that's been excavated. Apparently, this was a whole little village.
1,500 years ago, that'd be like Muhammad would have been there. Like that's like the first mosque.
Right here, and now it's surrounded by luxury hotels and whores. And hey, you can see the huge flagpole. I'm quite a ways away from it now, so it's still pretty big. Let's take a look at over here. It looks kind of like it might be some walls and stuff that are left.
Oy.
You definitely see the foundations and structures of things that have been built. Oh, that's nice.
Stabilization is fucking dope.
Yeah, it looks horrible. It's an old camera.
It's cool to see that these archways have existed for so long and they are still here. I wonder if they have been reconstructed at all. I hate that it's hard to tell that if you're not, into this stuff. It's kind of neat regardless.
Oh, I thought it was low. I just walked right through it.
Yeah, I thought,
So our hotel has a roof that overlooks the Red Sea, so we're going to go up here and check out the sunset. And that's not bad at all. How about that?
I remember the view and everything. I don't remember the hotel having access to the roof and stuff. I don't remember that here, but I remember the view though.
I mean, the crane's in the way, but kind of ignore the crane and things are good. They also have the internet up here.
there's a power plug over there.
So looking for postcards is actually kind of lame because it's usually just, postcards. But in Jordan postcards are amazing. So like this is the former king and queen. Look at that for a postcard. It looks like a portrait, like. And this is the current king. He's this looking pimp. That's the entire postcard. Somebody's gonna.
I don't doubt I bought that.
And Let me see this. Here's one of the, I think that's the
It's got to be a princess.
queen or something. I don't know who this is, but she's just driving a car.
That's dope.
And then there's this guy. Like, they all just look like photographs, like really awful, awful photographs.
It's good. It's like glamour shots.
Deb up in here.
Ew, and you said it at the same
At the same
time.
time. It's like glamour shots by
Personal
Deb.
favorite. 2 people skiing. Check out this jogger. Yeah, girl.
Pixels.
I probably won't be able to get footage of this. I'm watching these kids that there's 3 kids, 2 kind of older kids, a boy and a girl, and a maybe like 6-year-old girl.
I have no idea where this is going.
Me either.
And they're basically like walking up to tourists and even locals, which is odd. Usually they're begging. So usually if people are begging, they are just bothering tourists. You'll end up pointing at a local and they'll be like, no, I'm not going up to them. So they're going up to basically anyone and getting in their face. I'm watching one of them pull the hair of a tourist right now. She's not
Now I remember that.
hair, but I mean, she's touching the tourist's hair and moving it around. It's pretty, like, you just don't touch people you don't know or whatever. Anyways, they came up to Eric and
Show my bag. Like, my bag is around me like this, so it's like, without cutting it, you can't possibly get it off. But she came up to me and hoping that it would be on my shoulder like this, grabbed it and tried to pull it away. And then I was like, you know, made a bunch of noise at her. And she goes, fuck you, like starts screaming at me. And like, you look at her eyes, she's insane, like completely bonkers, the older one. And she's just ordering around the little one, like run across the street and do this. And she just runs in front of cars and goes and like, you know, bothers other travelers. Hopefully we'll get some footage. It's pretty crazy.
the kids are down the street now. They've walked into an alley. So they said fuck you to Eric, and I instantly turned around because I could hear Eric saying fuck you back. And I'm like, who is he talking to?
Was it talking to like a 6-year-old?
So I walk out, and they instantly just point at me and start swearing at me in Arabic. So I don't really know what's going on with them. They are absolutely crazy, and hopefully we get some good footage of them just doing something messed up. We watched a lady smack the older girl in the face because she wouldn't get out of their way, and we've seen a good bit of drama come out of these three kids. So onward.
It's like, on one hand, it's like a crazy story, but on the other hand, it's really sad.
It's really sad.
It's really sad.
And whatever has put the older girl and all of them into the situation that they're in is only tormenting and terrorizing them more.
Yeah.
They're stuck in some sort of situation and being abused because they're stuck in that situation. And while you pause, I gotta pee.
Okay, Katie's gonna go to the bathroom.
Thoroughly hydrated.
So we can just hang out for a moment. No, the way, maybe I had misunderstood. I think it was all children. I don't think it was a mom. I think it was like, I think it was like an older child, but I don't remember the age. Like that's what my memory says. I think that's what I said. That's what was said in the video. So like there wasn't an adult there. It's like, it was like a child of an age I don't remember ordering around like a younger kid. But I remember it being all children. So, like, I mean, like, whatever their situation is like really grim. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard stuff. You're back. You locked in?
Almost. Yep.
Okay, so this is our breakfast. This is this little place. It's where we start staying at this hotel right here, and
oh, it looks so freaking good.
Good.
It looks amazing.
this little place is like always really, really busy. And all it really is a bunch of like standalone tables out in front of this little shop.
Oh, that tea.
And
What do they put, like peppermint in it or something with it? Is that what it was?
Wow.
We need to get some of this in our life.
I want some of those pickles.
we just ordered a hummus, some falafel, and they bring you out pita and tea. And it's really, really good, and it's understandable why it's always extremely crowded here.
I didn't even talk.
So this tea, it's like a mint tea, and it's kind of sweet, but it's kind of not. And it tastes like it might be like...
Hey, can we get like mint like this? Is that something we can get in Japan?
You can get
Without
mint.
it being like crazy expensive?
Yeah, I bought some for some sort of cooking project recently. Gosh, don't remember what that was.
I don't know, like almost like a fruity tea, but not really. I don't know. It's really, really amazing tasting.
It's good.
It's good. So if you can find some of this and some sugar and some mint leaves, you can make you some tea.
All right, let's get into the next episode. Mint's not difficult to grow. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have any growing stuffs, so I'm also not interested in growing things for some reason. I don't know. Maybe at some point in my
I have a
life.
very minuscule interest in that, and it's only an interest in the outcome of the thing as opposed to the doing that thing.
Okay, so this is. Let's look at the map again really quick before we get into this. So that was too far. I should use this. So we were down here, right? And all of, like, if I recall, there was this area that we kind of wanted to go to, but for some reason we couldn't figure out the logistics. Something about it stopped us.
I remember it having to be like an overnight thing that didn't sound very comfortable to us. Not that like it didn't sound good. It sounded more like a drug party out in the wild.
I don't quite remember exactly what stopped us, but when you look at the country, like basically everything over here is just empty desert. Like all of this is just like nothing. And so a majority of the people live along this region. So what we ended up doing, I don't remember what the name of the town is, Wadi Musa, I think. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and this is where Petra is. So we're going to be traveling up to this point so that we can go into Petra, which is where you'll see some cool stuff. Just to give some geographical information.
After a few days in Aqaba, we got on a bus and headed north to Wadi Musa, an extremely touristed town because it holds one of the world's wonders, Petra.
So we're going to this little castle called Shibak, and on the way there, the clouds have gotten it's gotten overcast, and I mean, we haven't seen overcast like this the entire month we've been in the Middle East. So this is peculiar, and you can't really see it anymore, but way back here, there was a tornado, a huge tornado, like off in the distance. Or a dust devil.
Tatsumaki.
And I think that's what it was. I mean, it really, really looked like it. I'm not sure if there's some other weather formation that can look like a tornado in this part of the world, but it really, really looked like a tornado. And here are many goats.
Wow.
Hey, look at those camels.
Whoa, he's brown.
Aren't most camels brown?
They're like tan.
Like to drive
That
past
one was brown.
So this is pretty amazing looking.
Yeah, it does look cool. The clouds help a lot.
The scenery here is pretty great, and
It gives it like color, like in different places. It makes it look more dynamic.
there are like little houses down here, like built into the wall. It's like a little village.
I don't remember what we're in vehicle-wise, like a little truck or something, but I don't remember like how we got in it or if it's what's happening. How did we pay somebody? Did we find him on the street? Did a hotel help us find him? Like what was I don't know any of this.
This is the castle that we're going up to. We'll be checking that out in a moment.
The Jordanian mountain ranges are beautiful. It's just, it doesn't even seem like we're on planet Earth anymore. Like all the lines that are on here, and then just the little shrubs like trying to grab life. It's really incredible looking.
I think the way the cloud cover is making the shadowing is really, really dramatic as well. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no clouds for a month and all of a sudden clouds.
Yes, we have seen clouds again. Welcome.
And it's a different type of desert than what we saw when we were like outside of Dubai and stuff, where it was like sand dunes and like loose. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't read whatever happened there. Yeah, question to airport because the Arab visiting alone was suspicious. Oh, word. Weird.
Called me a motherfucker again. The question mark goes at the left?
Yeah, they write right to left.
What?
Yeah.
So like when their text entry happens, it's over here?
Yeah. Craft DZ, is this fellow saying nice things or help us out?
Some clouds.
Alright, here's the castle, let's go.
This is
Obviously
the
going to be a
castle far away.
BFF.
So I've kind of climbed up to the top of the castle, and here's the best.
Hello.
The castle is not super impressive. I would definitely say that the landscape surrounding it is much more intensely impressive than the castle itself. Although there is a tunnel here that's supposed to be terrifying, and we're going to end up trying to find that. But the scenery is just stunning. We were kind of
I do
upset at
remember
the amount of money that
looking
we were
for
paying
the
to
tunnel.
get out here, but starting to feel like it was completely worth it.
So at this castle, there's apparently a
Oh my
cave that you can go
God.
down to, and it's supposed to be pretty spooky. So we're going in, and this is what it looks like. So far, pretty spooky. Oh my. Really spooky.
Habibi.
Habibi.
One time we met a cat, and the cat's name was Habibi.
I think that's like the only reason I want to have a cat. It's just
To
to
name
name
it
it
Habibi?
Habibi. So like the rest
You
of
can
my
sing it.
life, I would just be like
Habibi.
Habibi.
Camera situation, I'm going to have to kill this in a second because I can't see very well.
Yeah, this tunnel was like spooky, I think.
We've left our guy. He was supposed to be our taxi driver, but then he wanted to follow us around, and we kind of ditched him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it is really spooky down here. Like, shut off your flashlight. Oh, well, I can't really shut the light off to this, so it doesn't help. Anyways, yeah, it's really slippery because it's really dusty, and you very much feel like you're in an Indiana Jones movie or something. It's really weird. And I'm not sure if this is going to come out anywhere, so that's all real exciting.
I think it did. Like it came out, but I don't think we went all the way down. Like I feel like it came out of a road, but we're like, if we go down there, the taxi driver's not going to know where we are. It was like a long way.
Okay, so yeah, like this is freaky, a long way down in the earth. It just keeps going. We have our driver waiting for us. He's probably furious. Whatever.
Yeah, we thought the food there was good too.
I would say keep going, but it just goes and goes and goes.
Oh my god. Let me try to get a good shot of that. That's amazing looking. I mean,
I feel like there was some story about this tunnel too. Like somebody escaped through it or something like that. Maybe I said it and I just didn't pay attention.
Alright, so there's the castle that we went to, and down over here is a little door where the tunnel comes out. I don't know if you'll ever be able to see it, but it's the best I can do.
So we just popped out a little door.
No, I think we went back up. I don't think we went out the door. I don't remember.
I remember coming out a weird place or finding the opening and feeling surprised by it. So there was some sort of surprise.
To a very, just a small tourist town around Petra. And this is actually called Wadi Musa. And it's a pretty big, industrial kind of looking town. I mean, it's nothing like what I expected this area to look like. We are 2 kilometers away from Petra, and it's just a sprawling little suburb here. And this is the view from our roof of the place that we're staying, so pretty gorgeous. Gonna watch the sunset here and relax for a little while. Yeah, that's a pony. We're at Petra right now, and apparently your ticket gets you a pony ride in. So that's what I'm doing right now. And this is my first pony ride of the entire trip. It's going pretty good.
Is that your first?
Didn't say it right. Pony horse.
Horse pony. Horse pony. Is that have you ever ridden a horse before, or is that your first horse ride?
I've ridden horses before.
I'm super happy, but that's all right.
But I'm probably in the area of like 10.
I don't know how I feel.
Did you hear that?
I was told its name is Katie.
Yeah. Let me back it up.
Super happy, but that's all right. They told me
What are you not happy about?
first pony ride of the entire trip. It's going pretty good. My pony kind of doesn't seem super happy, but that's all right. They told me my pony's name is Katie. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I think the horse ride was like included with the ticket. I remember. I don't remember it being bad, but maybe it was. I don't know.
Not even in yet, and you can already see some of the architecture.
Yeah. So I don't remember how this panned out. The deal with this place is like an ancient city that's all built into the walls, and you'll see all these structures like this coming up, but there's a specific path that you end up taking that's like very iconic.
It's gonna be so Indiana Jones out here today. That's awesome. I got shook down by the horse escort. I went to give him a half dinar, which is really like 75 cents American. And he told me that's nothing here. He shook me down so that I'd give him 2 dinars.
If I recall, it said like on the ticket that you got a pony ride. But then you're supposed to tip the guy, and that's the actual.
I did it, but in retrospect, nothing is nothing. Half a dinar is actually something. You can't drive right into Petra. You first have to slither down the Seek, a narrow, nearly mile-long, winding path. At no point is the Seek more than 10 feet wide, and the colossal walls reach as high as 300 feet at some points. The walk is intimidating and enchanting at the same time.
Yeah, look at this, man.
This canyon makes you feel like an ant.
This is like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade at the end, where they ride their horses through. This is it.
For us, Petra had been a long time coming. We were both excited, and the walk through the Seek felt like it took an eternity. But no amount of walking matters once you catch a glimpse of the jaw-dropping treasury. Like the other buildings and tombs at Petra, the treasury was meticulously carved by hand. This building in particular was crafted around 100 BC. The treasury is not the first building that you view, but it is the most stunning, because the walls of the Seek protect it from wind, rain, and sunlight. It is not known the purpose of the treasury, but legends speak of bandits or possibly Egyptian pharaohs stashing their bounty here.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Welcome to Petra.
Nothing else is nearly as maintained looking. Everything else is way deteriorated, but this specific building, like Katie said, it's protected from like all these elements and stuff. It's stayed in like phenomenal shape.
Indiana Jones was here. That out there. Him and his ponies and all that good stuff riding around right here in front of Petra. It's a stunning building. And along with every good tourist attraction comes the garbage. At least it's not in the picture, and that's amazing.
Yeah, they could have really made it worse.
And then always the camels.
I remember being pretty chill.
Camel, I can get you. Before somebody yells at me.
I don't remember people coming up and bothering us and stuff. Those lips.
A little history. The Nabateans settled Petra in 7000 BC. The people and the area prospered for centuries through the trade of frankincense, myrrh, and spices. They displayed their success by creating hundreds of beautifully carved sandstone buildings throughout their city. Petra was a hub until a devastating earthquake in 363 AD, and eventually trading routes went beyond land. By the 7th century, Petra was deserted, leaving truly incredible architecture behind. Who put that donkey up there on that cliff? Right now we're climbing up to the top of this ridge up here.
This was awesome.
We're just following a staircase. And we're in kind of a little canyon over here. And look at the colors. It's pretty ridiculous. Like, here you've got a lot of oranges and whites and yellows and reds, but we've actually seen blue and purple and green and some other colors that I won't explain. But yeah, this is very colorful. And I kind of didn't expect that. I expected a lot of orange and maybe red, but other colors I wasn't expecting.
Even a donkey.
Let's go find that donkey.
It's really difficult to take all of this in. Like, it just seems kind of fake. It's so amazing looking. It seems just huge. It's like a painting or something, you know? I don't have a whole lot of commentary here. It's really though.
Oh, hello. So that cliff that I pointed to in an earlier video, that's what we're standing on right now. And the view is pretty spectacular. If I am correct, we live over in this little area right here. So you've seen a video of that going over to Petra, and from Petra going over to that.
All the stacks are a lot like things we've seen in Korea. So Petra itself is actually a fairly large complex, and it's like a city essentially, like a large city that has been built into all these limestone walls, or not limestone, I'm sorry, sandstone walls.
I can't even envision what this was like when people lived there. What did it look like? What did it feel like? You know what I mean? Like, what? I can't even wrap my mind around it. It's so, like, otherworldly.
And this is called the garden something or other. And the reason it's called that is because all of this is, like, for lack of a better word, an aqua.
Like, the buildings, yeah, how deep did you go in? We get to go inside some of them. They're, if I recall, you could be, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 meters, I guess, in is like the deepest ones I can remember. But some of them are like caves almost, with like an ornate frontage. But the inside is like just like a cave. I don't know what it was like when people were living inside of it.
Duct system. And you see this hole here. Water used to come out of that, and they'd be able to plug it, and it would fill these pools up, and they would be able to allow all of the water to come down through here and go out and fill this area. And apparently this used to be a garden. And I'm not really sure, you can see where water would go. I'm not really sure where all the water went. I know that a earthquake is what made everybody move out of this region, and maybe that destroyed like a spring or something. But at some point, everything dried up, and now it's abandoned. But you can see, like, it was actually a pretty advanced civilization. The fact that they were moving water around and building, obviously, these giant Roman-looking, Greek-looking columns and things like that. And when you go inside, there's a crack broken in the middle, in the back of the wall, and you can see out over the rest of the little town.
Whoa.
You can see more buildings and pillars and stuff out there.
Some yabba dabba do shit, man.
No, this is advanced Java.
This crack up here, this is what I just stuck the camera out of. And you can see we're standing down there, and I mean, like, look at that. How amazing is that? It's just like out here in a valley. It's really amazing. And then this is supposed to be some sort of like funerally. It's a building they would use for funerals or something to do with the dead. And it's the only building that actually has any carvings on the insides, apparently, in all of Petra, or according to the sign. So let's come in and take a look.
Yeah, this one's like ornate inside as well.
I mean, just these columns and stuff. It's very, very cool. And keep in mind, I think the civilization is about 2,000 years old. So this stuff is pretty old.
Colors in here are crazy.
Yeah.
The most striking thing about this entire place, aside from the fact that human beings carved all this out, is the colors of the walls. And like, you can just see that it's compressed sand, like over time, that this is just turned like regular desert sand, and just so much weight has pushed down on it that it's compressed into this thick rock.
They're saying that we explored it well. I think we both came into that like we are going to get as much out of this as we possibly can.
Yeah, we spent the whole day there. I remember being really hot too.
Walking anywhere that we could go, finding out any information that we could.
You could spend like months sticking your nose into different areas.
I actually remember feeling like, gosh, I wish we could spend the night here.
Yeah.
And then we could continue the next day. Because it was kind of a hassle to get there with the fucking pony ride and shit.
Yeah, ride a pony.
Yeah.
Or that's what I think. I'm no geologist. Just assume that's what happened. But just the bands of color. Look at this. It's amazing. And the current sand is very loose. When you see how easily that the walls can break away here, it makes it understanding why they took the time to carve into them and build cities into it. It probably wasn't all that difficult. I'm not trying to downplay the amazingness. It's just, this is a pretty primal place for it. It just peels away. So a lot of the buildings or sculptures in the walls that happen to be rooms like this, they are actually tombs, and this wasn't excavated until 2003. And keep in mind, this was made about 2,000 years ago, so it sat dormant for a while. And what it was, is you can see these are tombs, like people were buried here. And over the years, apparently grave robbers had come and stolen a majority of the stuff that was inside. But I mean, there's 14 tombs or graves that some of them look like they may have had multiple people in them. It's kind of spooky. And the walls are different in here. It's like a black. It's definitely, they've definitely put it there. I don't think it's turds. Turds don't go up. So there's this massive, massive cliff, and Katie is going to jump off of it. Look at that. That is almost 4 feet.
That was a foot.
Ready? Come on. Wow. How high did you get to count to while you were falling? 7, 8?
Maybe even 2.
It's kind of spooky, huh?
That looks cool.
You can see the color patterns and stuff. Well, not really even patterns, color randomnesses. And look at this lizard.
Wow, look at him go.
He is pretty big.
Where's he get water? He needs water, right?
He is gonna run. He's gone. Let's see if we can find him on the inside.
Turds probably do go up in space.
No dragons be here. I'm really glad I kind of came into this not knowing what to expect, because it makes it much more overwhelming to see how much there actually is. I mean, I knew the treasury existed, and I knew there were some other things, but I didn't realize it. I mean, look at this. There's this entrance. Like, look how many places have been lived in or used as some sort of like human abode. And the details and the age and the grandiosness of the entire thing is just really, really.
What?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
This is somewhat Flintstones-esque. This is a pretty striking example of the colors.
Yeah, look at that.
I have some good pictures from
Yeah.
that.
See, it's almost like a zebra.
I got some green stuff in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer, you can see there's actually more colors than just the red and the white. Let's see. Like, you can see this band of yellow.
Like, is that natural? Really?
It's coming through it.
It looks designed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're on another planet. I'm sure it's probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's getting boring hearing me say this, but look at this. All the color.
There's never been anything like this before. Like, this is the only thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like this.
So we are headed over this direction, and you can see this is like another heavily populated area. Jesus. One of the best things about coming to things like this is when you can actually get away from things and just kind of climb around and actually be a part of what you're looking at rather than just looking at it. And nobody is up where we're at, and we haven't really seen, except for this valley of people that we've just come across. We haven't seen anybody in a while, so we've just kind of been like climbing around and climbing on the rocks and stuff. It makes it a lot more fun than just going and, you know, gawking at something and just sitting there that you can't touch. We can't get down, can we? Come on, don't be a wimp.
Just jump.
You're on.
No problem,
You did make that look really easy, but you're also very long.
This amphitheater was refurbished by the Romans after they annexed the region around 100 AD. The seating seats 8,500 people, and everything besides the extreme ends was carved completely out of a mountain that was there. Previous to an amphitheater being there, there were tombs in place, and now you can see these black holes in the walls where the tombs had been removed, but the holes hadn't been refilled. So at one point there were tombs there, now there's an amphitheater. It's kind of creepy.
We spotted another lizard, and I know that me moving closer is going to make him run away.
See my approach? You need to learn about the approach. I'm doing great. Oh, check him out.
Size of my forearm. He seems to be dancing.
He definitely is aware of our presence.
This video was 2010. Thanks, Denise. Have you been to Mesa Verde, the cliffs? I don't think so. It's a place
Mesa Verde? I don't think so.
So we came over here and we've been playing around in the little holes and nooks and crannies here. In this little room right here, you can see an officer setting up his nap time kit. And we've been told that we were just up in that nook, like sitting there in the shade, watching the people walk by. It was really nice. And the police came up there and told us that we were not allowed to stay up there because apparently you're not allowed to be in that room during nap time. They're having a siesta and taking a snooze. We are in what's called the Urn Temple.
Holy crap.
And look at the ceiling. Like, it's just getting more and more absurd as to how much color they can find in a stone. Like, are you serious? It looks like a painting of some sort.
So
I wonder why I got that.
Hike through all these hills and everything, we have gotten to the point where we are above the treasury. And this is not some place that very many people are coming, so special view, it's pretty awesome.
I can't believe this.
A bunch of clouds have rolled in and it's making all the mountains look pretty spooky. Okay, so we were up here and then we walked over up here and we were looking down at the treasury from there.
That view, dude, was nuts.
Really far hike up there, and
I remember kind of just sitting there. I don't remember if we were swinging our legs off the edge or something. We were sitting right at the edge. I just remember watching it for a while. I do think some other people, like other tourists, came up behind us at some point. But most people weren't going all the way up there. And the view from that was just like, it was amazing. But I remember being a hefty time investment to get up there.
To go a long way, you can't just go straight. You have to hike way out around everything. It was really, really amazing though. So a lot of the rocks have changed color essentially as the sun goes down. Obviously the light is just showing different colors more vibrantly. But again, this is like really like a watercolor. Something you don't see from an Indiana Jones movie is that this exists right in front of the treasury. Like, there's a sub-basement. And we're on our way out. And there is the valley, or sick, or souk, or whatever it's called. It's not a valley. Valleys are made with water. This was made because an earthquake pulled this apart.
Whoa. Who's this?
Making love to the camera.
You see my approach. Look at my approach. I'm getting all the
I
pussy.
got news. That's its approach. On you getting pussy, we out.
Well, you can't leave that on screen too long. All right, let's take a look at some of the pictures. I think some of the pictures were actually in the video, which is... I noticed in that video production levels were a little higher than usual. Like, you did some like overdubs and like we talked about.
That did happen.
We talked about, you did like a history thing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get you back on that. Okay, anyway, so just some of the pictures will just be some of the stuff we already saw. Yeah, just the dress that the women have, like they're at the beach and they're still completely covered up. I mean, obviously that's a thing that happens, but when you see it like in real life, it's still kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, this is this culture. Do you think they have the pizzas that you like in there now?
God, I hope so. Man, I went to a 7-Eleven and they only had the margarita pizza and I was like, what the fuck is this, the ghetto? I'm not allowed to say that word anymore, but...
You want the four cheese?
Yeah,
the
four cheese is where it's at. And I was just like, is this even a 7-Eleven? I was real disappointed in it.
You're probably in the new 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah. Definitely at the new 7-Eleven.
Look at the key.
This was one of the stupidest keys.
Yeah, it's like the kind of key like you're like at a truck stop.
At the truck stop
in
where
America,
they don't want you
like,
to steal it.
And they hand you a key with a tire on it. Like, here, don't.
That looks like some shit Eric Klein likes.
Yeah, it looks like he probably got...
Coffee time.
Super friended.
Coffee time. Are you seeing that shit?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good design.
Cappuccino.
Yeah. That looks like it's the shit.
It actually looked more like sludge. And I think it was.
So this is like, people are living in these now. Like, this isn't like olden days stuff. But like, I mean, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's modern things happening. Like, these are places people are living now. It's interesting that it's kind of like, you know, just similar to the way that people lived there 2,000 years ago or whatever. That gives a really good dynamic view of the
Landscape,
yeah.
Landscape. Castle?
Castle and landscape. This is really mixing it up.
Oh, I drew that.
Yeah, it's your artwork.
That's probably like one of my best. I think no doubt I actually really feel that way. And yeah, I can't draw. But I felt that way and I kept it in that little notebook and I was a little proud of it.
Do we still have that little notebook? Maybe in America.
I don't know.
We should get that stuff from America and bring it here.
Mm-hmm.
Katie getting gypped.
That pony was rude.
I was gonna say who took this picture, but it's obvious. It's just sitting on the thing.
It's just on the thing.
It's a good picture. So I don't really remember this picture. Look how little you are. That's what you use to get around?
Mm-hmm.
I see little people all the time. I'm just like, what? That's it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. It's one of the coolest places we've ever been, in my opinion.
Zooming in on that. Ooh, number 23.
Yeah, twins.
Mm.
You got the same look.
Sure we do. I'm glad you spent time on that.
Oh, it's kittens.
That's how they get away from the people.
Yep, they go in a little cage. I told you I was a pussy magnet.
Mm.
See this? Cat's got good
Maybe
posture.
get sprayed or something.
Well, that's the danger of
The danger.
it's the danger of getting too deep in the pussy.
Oh, ew. Don't fuck cats.
It's a cool picture. I like that. Erase this girl. But me and this cat hanging out. Roman people.
Yeah, I've heard
saying
this
Gyp is-
before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a common slang that we haven't
You're
worked
not
out.
allowed to use that word.
Yeah, you can't.
There's like at least 5 words I use I'm not allowed to use, and you always remind me, and I now remind myself after
Yeah.
I say them. Yeah, you're not allowed to say that one.
Get ripped off, but that probably offends somebody else.
Yeah. All of our words are made out of our culture.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the thing. If your culture is like horrible white people,
horrible white people.
then like your entire language is fucked up. Like, what are you gonna do?
It's a fucking minefield with Heather here. Can't say anything.
This is a good picture, by the way. Thank you for taking it. Did a good job.
I do good pictures sometimes. I don't take pictures often, but when I do, I think they're good.
I told you should take pictures more.
But then they won't be as good.
You'll be better.
Nah.
I got better.
It's just gonna be the same amount.
It's not true. Kind of look rustic here.
Mm. What are we doing over there?
I don't know what I don't know what the
what's going on
context
over
here
there.
is. I don't know.
We didn't explain anything. Eric, go back. You're so in love with me. I know that it could just be that like you blinked during the photo, but that's what it looks like.
It can be both. That's cool.
The right answer is it is both.
It might not be. It might just be a blink.
Yeah.
The perspective here is really cool. Like that you're in that picture. It makes it look gigantic.
Mm. Wow.
You were just talking yesterday about how like you don't like getting in contact with stray cats because then they got some weird disease. Yep.
This one had weird shit on it.
Yeah. Well, look at it. It looks like that cat didn't make it to 2023. Let me tell you.
Mm. All the cats going by. Tough life. Somebody just wrote rest in peace. Are there people that aren't resting in peace? Like, we say it, but is the opposite happening? Do we need to wish them this? Are we just wishing it for ourselves?
Zombies. Yeah. Look how fine the dust was.
I think I took some of the sand from there. Remember when I was hauling around sand?
No, I think you have sand from the Dead Sea.
I had multiple locations.
Oh yeah, we had a bottle of Dead Sea water. We took it back to America with us somehow.
Mm.
What's a face? Which one?
I guess it was the... I guess it was that.
Oh, this. Yeah.
Mm.
No, that's a face. I don't know what I had. It was some sort of
Gummies.
gummies. Is that what
I think
it
it was worse than gummies because I'm grossed out by this photo.
Are
I'm
you?
really grossed out.
Does this bother you?
Kind of, yeah. Even large, it bothers me.
Keep in mind, this is on our television. It's like 50 inches wide or whatever. So this is like pretty intense. We were waiting to see if, yeah, that's exactly, I think, what we did. I don't remember how it all panned out, though. But I do remember having it. You look triumphant. Yeah, I mean, that's just overwhelming. Look at that. What that used to be like a place. There would be like bustling going on. People would go to a market and like get some stuff, and there'd be like animals and water flowing and stuff. Like just like it's like a ghost town now, of course, aside from like the visitors. But to think of it being like an alive place is just hard to comprehend. Archways are so strong. We should get more arches like in around the house.
In and around the house?
Yeah, just to keep the place nice and strong. See, that thing doesn't look nearly as strong.
Yeah, that
Look at this rickety.
Yeah.
Look at this situation.
That's not a jumper.
Do you think that this outlived the cat?
Might have taken the cat out.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite top points. Like I've mentioned this in a few points during watching these. This is one of my favorite memories of the entire round the world trip is climbing up there and seeing that. The fact that we had to like put in effort to get up there. If you could have just like driven up there and looked, probably wouldn't stick out in my memory the way it does. It is pretty cool regardless. And look how small the people are. Like to show like how far up we are. Indiana Jones was there. My foot is sort of hanging off the edge.
Not scary at all. It's huge.
We were talking about my pants.
I had sewed those motherfuckers up so many ways.
Yeah, look at this. This is all stitched up. They were new when we started our trip. Like we talked about my pants in a recent episode as well, but this gave a good visual. Like it's all stitched up in weird ways and stuff. And if you fold this part up, because they like zip off, but I never did it. If you fold this part up, it's like a completely different color. It's like not sunburned, sun cooked, whatever. And then I had this picture, and it looks like a telephone system, like a really old, like switching telephone system. I don't remember what the context is at all.
Nana used to do the switchboards for AT&T.
I think my mom did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your mom's biting on Nana?
Maybe they know each other.
Nah, probably not.
All right. That's it for tonight. We will be picking up next week where we will be...
That's how the people of Petra called each other. With like space diamonds at the top. Like they carved everything, but yet they had some like intercelestial way of communicating. Like that's like this.
Space diamonds? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, they look like little space diamonds.
But we'll be picking up with more from Jordan. We're going to go up to the capital city of Jordan, and we spend some time there, get some really good food, see a weird dancing situation that I'm a little worried about. I don't know how we talked about
gosh.
it, so I'm a little concerned.
We're just going to let it play?
Yeah, just going to let it go.
Just gonna let it play. We are just letting it play on the internet right now. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
but I remember being angry.
Yeah. And,
but not about the content.
Yeah, not about the... Exactly.
You can have fun however you want.
Angry about the hour.
If you're keeping me up, I hate you.
So anyway, we'll be doing all that next week. Thanks again for the raid and all the people that came in, if you stuck around. This isn't our normal thing. We usually do IRL
live
stuff.
And
I do motorbike streams and stuff.
But every Tuesday night, we enjoy the past. And this is a good one.